it's okay to not touch a penis. One of the many quotable lines from Lady Bird, a really fantastic movie from Greta Gerwig, who directed a movie called Nights and Weekends about 10 years ago. It was back in 2008. And quite frankly, one of the best coming of age movies I've seen in years. If not, I'm not going to say ever. I mean, I think a bit too much praise is getting heaped on it, but I didn't really find any flaws in it. It was, a great coming of age story. You had Saoirse Ronan, who played Christine, who wanted to go by the name Lady Bird. She wanted to be different. And this is back in 2002, 2003. So it's very, very soon after 9/11 and everything. So you have the setting of the parents having fear of a new society, a new America or whatever, worrying about people, the escalation of violence. Even though none of that is shown, Christine goes to a Catholic school. It's a way to kind of set her straight because she's had a bit of a troubled youth and a troubled past. The mother, of course, played by Laurie Metcalf, played to perfection. Played with a lot of broken, like a lot of broken feeling. Like she has a giving heart. She works hard. She just wants to do what's best for her family, but maybe she doesn't always make the best decisions, but she ultimately does love her kids. She's not abusive, but the way she was raised, as she, and sorry, spoilers, just going to say spoilers here, by the way, there's going to be spoilers. She was not raised by the best mother either, and unfortunately some of that stuff has carried over. You, of course, have the dad played by Tracy Letts, played to perfection. He plays the dad that works hard. He's kind of like it's kind of the good cop, bad cop thing. But really, and of course, there's the characters to play the friends and stuff like that. And I'm not going to necessarily go into a whole ton of stuff here, though I will say everybody played their role really to perfection. It was really, really well done. I'm not too certain why this was rated R. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of adult themes and stuff like that. There was smoking, drinking, and there was swearing. And there was like one sex scene that was very brief. But a lot of it was just, a lot of it could have passed for PG-13. There's way worse stuff I've seen in PG-13 movies as opposed to this. However, with the subject matter, I get it. It's like, okay, you want to rated R. I think PG-13 might have helped it get to a wider audience. But that being said, it doesn't pull any punches. It does show that mistakes have consequences. There's a whole lot to think about once you see it. Like, okay, you think, how was I raised? Because, Saoirse, she plays a 17-year-old girl, and she does look really youthful. I mean, she is 23, but she still looks really youthful, so she can pull that off. And it's like finding first love, finding out that didn't necessarily work out so well. Finding a second love, and getting kind of, betrayed and stuff like that. Betrayed or like misled in this kind of stuff. It's something where you feel for a lot of the characters. There's a good amount of humor. It's a comedy. It's a drama comedy, a dramedy, but it is also coming of age and everything. And it's really well done. Like I said, from the first scene where Saoirse and the mother, so Christine and her mother, are listening to the Grapes of Wrath book on tape. Where, and they're crying and everything at the end, and then it all morphs into where obviously they have this moment, but then it gets to where stuff breaks down because problems that they have with each other, because there's strong personalities and the clashing of the mother and daughter will do, they haven't gone away. And they don't go away throughout the entire movie. They get better, and then they get down, and then they get better, and then they get down. There's no real element of danger with this movie, though. But you have to wonder, like, okay, is she going to get what she wants? Is Christine going to be able, is Lady Bird going to be able to go to another college like she wants? She wants to go to the East Coast, experience culture, get out of Sacramento, California, even though it's been the hometown that she's known. I mean, obviously, that would be your hometown, but it's been the city that she's known. She's sick of it. She feels stifled. She goes through friends. She reunites with past friends and friends that she had and that she betrayed and she felt bad. It's a lot to experience within a year. The film takes place pretty much over about a year, I think. Something like that, about a year, maybe 9 months or so. But it builds to where her and her mother do finally have a bond. I mean, the dad always had a bond with Christine, with his daughter. And there's some good stuff with it. There's good exchanges. It sets the awkwardness properly of how teens would talk to each other, and whether whether they are good at talking with each other, or whether they're nervous because they're not sure how the other's going to react. It's a very layered and well done movie. It's one that's hard to really do a long review of, so I will just basically sum up from the first scene to the last scene. You feel for the characters. You have a lot of really good emotion to it. There's a good punch to it. It leaves you with a good feeling, and a feeling that, hey, you may not always get the best out of life, but sometimes life has a way of working out. But when you get what you want, maybe it's not always the best that you want, and what you had back home isn't that bad. And it makes you appreciate, especially those that came from a good home. And whether you came from a home where your grandparents raised you, whether your parents raised you, whether a single parent raised you, mother, father, whatever, it makes you appreciate, especially if they worked hard, and the good stuff that you had while you were, before you set out on your own and everything, and you set out to do your own stuff and work hard and get to where basically you could be your own person. Remember where you came from. Remember that everything can work out, but life is a growing process. That's basically what it is. That's what this movie essentially teaches. There's a lot to learn from this, and it made me reflect on stuff that I did in high school, which wasn't a ton of bad stuff, but basically it's something that makes you think. It's a movie that makes you think. It makes you feel, makes you appreciate, makes you laugh at times. I can't say it really makes you cry, but there's good emotional parts to it. It's a very well done movie. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's only 94 minutes. It's very good to watch. I can see why people heap the praise on. I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie, but I'm going to say I'll say 3.5 stars for the acting. I'll say 3.5 stars for the acting. I think everybody played their roles just fine. I think this thing could do well on Academy Awards, or at least nominations. Hopefully, Saoirse Ronan gets a nod, because I think this may be one of the finest roles she's had. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. Now, I know this movie has been out for a bit, and it's only been out, actually, I think, for like a few weeks. And I wasn't aware I wasn't even aware of this movie till a few days ago. And I went in completely blind, like I'd heard very little about it. And I'm very happy I watched it. So I would recommend that if you're willing to sit down and watch this coming of age drama / comedy, it's worth watching. Enjoy yourselves, appreciate the acting, and it's somewhat simple, and you get to dive a little deeper into it and wonder, what did these characters do? How did this work out? Can I learn anything from it? It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. I enjoyed it. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. So that's my review of Lady Bird. Have you guys seen the movie? Did you like it? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Also, spend real honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you guys soon.